I'm a managing director with a Boston-based company called Altenex. The easiest way to explain what Altenex does is, one of our clients is Dow Chemical, and Dow Chemical calls us the Match.com of renewable energy, which is a pretty good explanation, right? So Altenex helps end users, commercial, institutional energy users, identify, analyze, and execute renewable energy supply from across the market, right? We help them find what the supply that they're looking for and execute transactions. So I come to this work having spent 10 years running the EPA's Green Power Partnership. That was EPA's National Voluntary Renewable Energy Program. And we were heavily engaged with commercial institutional energy users, including higher education, to help them drive and consume new renewable energy, right? We're trying to build out the renewable energy sector in America. Higher education can be transformative for sustainability at a societal level, right? And both in terms of the operations, it's a tremendous slug of economic activity, right? And I think AU President Neil Kerwin said this morning that schools are not just educated, they are in fact consumers that can impact the market, and that's exactly right. The PCC signatories can change the way energy is supplied in America. And then of course, schools are responsible for the next generation of consumers and citizens. I grew up on a farm in northern Delaware, and it was sort of the best of both worlds, right? I didn't have to work the farm. We were fortunate enough to live there, and it was a beautiful, remote place. And so I grew up with animals and birds and trees and woods, and it sunk in. And so when I came out of college and was looking around to try to figure out what it is I wanted to do with my life, I wanted work that mattered. And if you look at sustainability, there's only one place to live, right, that we found, and it's this one planet. And so it matters. And on the intellectual side, sustainability, it's an incredibly complicated, interdependent set of challenges, right? And you can engage at a whole bunch of different levels with a whole bunch of really smart, committed people. That's an incredibly attractive mix. Work is play for mortal stakes, and I love it. So when we look at trends from across the market, it's a funny thing, right? Looking at sustainability trends, there is certainly a steady and constant stream of bad news. And that's sort of the nature of the challenge that we've chosen to address, right? There's a lot of bad stuff happening. At the same time, there are trends that are really, really encouraging. For what I do on the renewable energy side, if you simply look at the price curves for solar and wind energy, they're amazing, right? Solar prices have cratered in the last 20, 25 years, and they continue to come down and down and down. There are multiple markets across the US where if you're going to build new electricity generation, it is a straight up, flat out economic decision to build renewables, just because the numbers pencil. Renewables are a cheaper way to build and produce energy than anything else we've got going. That's an incredibly encouraging trend. And the other thing I noticed is that more and more companies and institutions are coming to this space and they are trying to figure it out. Right? The conversations that I'm having at these conferences with Second Nature, at sort of cross-sector conferences like the Association for Climate Change Officers, ACO, there are players in the room that were not there even last year even, and certainly that weren't there 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We're all trying to figure it out. We got to go faster, we got to go harder. But that's incredibly encouraging. There are more of us working really hard at this. I take a lot of comfort in that, and it's exciting. You asked me about hopes for the future. My concrete hope for the future is that by the time I retire, which is going to happen no time too soon, that at least 80% of the ACU PCC signatory schools are running on 50 to 100% renewable energy. And I'll take that on as a professional to do.